for you! Wake up!
Get your hands off me, worm!
I'm not the one in the dirt. One last thrust, and I'll be free of you. I'll never have to fear you again. But if I finish the ritual you started, I'll never have to fear anyone. Ever.
You think me a fool? That I would allow anyone to usurp me, speak the words, and ascend in my place? The runes I carved into your flesh bind you and all 7,000 souls to the ritual. Complete it, and those bearing the scars will be sacrificed, you included. You are simply a means to an end. I made you to be consumed.
I am so much more than what you made me. I can do this, but I need your help. These people died years ago. Trust me on that. All that's left are feral spawn, desperate for blood. If we release them, how many people will they kill? Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands? But if I complete the ritual, think of the power I'll have. With me by your side, we can save the city. We can save ourselves. I need your eyes, in a manner of speaking.
What do you think you are doing?
I'm making what you made me. Use the parasite. Link your mind to mine. Through your eyes, I can see the scars on my back, and copy them onto his.
You would not dare!
I would. And I will. You will be consumed, and all the power you've lusted after will be mine.
I sacrificed others so that I could become who I needed to be. I won't deny you the same chance.
Help me do this. Please.
Your minds join and your two selves become one. You can feel the knife in your hand, see the scars on his back, and taste his hunger for power.
Yes. Yes. I see it.
What are you doing? Don't! Ah!
No! Oh, no! No! There. Perfect.
Ungrateful child! Wretched child!
Time to take your place. Dominus, has animas, ofero in sacrificio.
destinies require sacrifice. Do as you must.
I can feel it. I can feel their power flowing into me. Nunc volo potestantem quam policitus es mihi. That ache in my stomach, that hunger, it's gone. I'm free. I'm finally free! Oh! Oh, it feels delicious. I did. We did. Come on, let's get out of here. I have a brand new world to explore. This is it. The hopeless dream dreamt by all of my kind. I am the greatest vampire to ever walk this land. Even the pale knight would have knelt before me. I felt so very little for so long. My edges dulled over the numb years rotting in the boudoir and kennels. Now, I can hear it at last. See it at last. How all the lowly creatures of this plane are begging to serve. How to call upon them. Scurrying footpads in their safe houses. Rats below our feet in their filthy holes. The crows in the night above. They will obey. The world will stir in fear. I already hear the world whispering in sweet surrender. And I feel alive.
I had hoped to avoid this path. I had hoped you would choose the better road. A fool I was to ever hope a beast like you could be saved.
Oh, please. There's no need for such language. I promised you Cazador's death, and I more than delivered. I even killed a few thousand spawn whilst I was at it. You should be thanking me for saving you the trouble. No. There's no working with the likes of them. Look at the hate in their eyes.
We gave you a choice, and you chose power, as your kind always does. But I still have hope for you, that you will make a better choice. Will you stand against evil? Will you help us destroy this monster? Then you are as much a monster as he. Kill them. Kill them all.
That was very, very satisfying. Who better to test these new powers on? And who better to be standing by my side than you, who helped me get them? I can face anything now. You probably expect me to turn into a sea of mist, run wrong side up on roofs, and to call on legions of wolves in battle. This will all happen in due time. But for now, patience is required. I hear the whispers of the night, but I can't yet speak its language. It's going to take a while to become acquainted with my new self. Everything lies ahead. I can see my path to a waking dream. From the Crimson Palace, I will govern day and night. Create a city of spawn who bow before me. Cast a fog over the world for my children. But first, we must manage the trifling matter of the brain. Perhaps it will listen to us. Perhaps it, too, will serve. I'm so lucky I crash-landed next to such an intelligent creature as you. We make a fine team, don't we?
You seek to be unburdened, yes? The mapping of the heart can reveal the way. Yet, there is another here whose need is great.
That voice. Allow me. I think I'm supposed to do this.
Do you know why you are here?
I have a mission to fulfill. I must...
You had a mission, yes. But did you succeed? Or did you stray? Now give me the true answer. What is your purpose in being here?
The artifact. I was sent to retrieve it. At any cost.
And who tasked you with this mission?
The Mother Superior of It's you.
Give me the honor of my name. In full.
I can't. My memories...
I know what's in that head of yours better than you do, girl. My name.
Mother Superior... Lyconia Devere.
You still have the wits to recognize your betters. Good. Now descend. You have much to answer for.
An astral projection. Clever girl. She's not taking any chances. We shouldn't either.
I thought you might try to flee rather than face us. Perhaps you are braver than I thought. Or more arrogant than even I can fathom. No matter. You are here now to face the Dark Lady's judgment before a gathering of your peers. Give the artifact, and perhaps we will be merciful.
No. I already faced Lady Shah. I passed her trials. I wielded her spear, and now I am her mortal voice. I have been embraced by her in ways you could only dream of.
Nonsense! Ravings! You've strayed, girl. You've failed Lady Shah's mission and allowed ambition to rot your mind.
Tell her. Tell them all. Tell them how the Night Singer has blessed me.
I shall stand with Shadowheart.
So be it. A traitor's end awaits you all. These are the desperate lies of trapped vermin, nothing more. You are deluded, girl.
I'm not here to convince you, Mother. You are already disgraced in Lady Shah's eyes. I merely wish to give the others a chance to repent before they are dragged down with you. Myconia would have you hide down here, oblivious to the true danger. The Absolute must be stopped, and only I can lead you. Lady Shah has decreed it.
The Absolute will be dealt with as soon as I prize the artifact from your cold fingers. Enough talk, girl. The sooner we finish this, the sooner your blood can be sluiced off Lady Shah's sacred grotto.
Enough speeches. The odds are already in my favor. Do you think the Dark Lady would want you to die for a lost cause? Or show some cunning and live another day?
No matter. I built this place from nothing. I can always start anew once you've been dealt with. You were right about one thing. Lady Shah's church does need to be cleansed. By my hand.
It can't be. Another vile trick.
It was me. I did that. How?
This was my gift to you. Power is not created. It merely changes from one form to another. Their pain becomes your might. Their suffering furthers your glory.
I don't understand. Who are these people?
Arnell Hallerleaf and his wife, Emily, once. They were among the most fanatical of my sister, Seluna's followers. But for years they have been here, resisting my embrace, just as I wished them to. Their wrong-headed resolve allowed me to shape you. But I need not tell you. I can show you. It is time to remember. Time to remember everything.
You find yourself thrust into Shadowheart's mind. But it's different than before. There's more. More than you or she can comprehend. A flood of restored memories, finished thoughts, revealed secrets.
I remember it all. You remember them? My parents. What have you done to them?
We, child. We did this to them together. My power and your will.
Jennifer?
Jen? Is that you? Why, you look so tall.
It's not her, Em. It's just another trick. Another way to hurt us.
It's me. I'm Jennifer.
Jennifer is no more. She never left those dark woods. It was Shadowheart who emerged. This woman gave birth to you. But I made you. I am your mother. A sacrifice is not a sacrifice if it has no meaning. This is the final step. Snuff out the last embers of your old life, so that you can finally be who you were meant to be. Kill them. For me. Then I will take the memories away from you again. Loss will heal you, and you will be my right hand at last.
They're my parents. I don't know if I can.
You can. You must. Do you remember your training, child? I know you do. All the times you stood in this room, wondering why this pair seemed so familiar. All the times you honed your skills on them, they remember everything. The pain, the pleading, their torturer wearing their daughter's face. End their nightmare. Give them peace.
Whatever happens, we love you all the same.
We never stopped. Thank you, Moon Maiden. You let me see my Jennifer, my baby girl, one last time.
Don't call me that. My name is Shadowheart.
You are just lost, Jennifer. Seluna will show you the way home, in time.
My name is Shadowheart!
It is done. And done well. They are with me now, in my endless dark. And from them, you can draw endless power.
I still remember.
No longer. Forget. Forget and rise.
It's done. This place is mine now. Shah's forces are mine when I need them, and her power, it's right at my fingertips. I can't believe it. Sacrifices. My final test, whoever they are. A rather meager offering to the Dark Lady. But it's not my place to question her. It's time we left. We're not finished with the Absolute just yet. Only now, Shah's forces are mine to command, when the battle comes. The final sacrifice has been made. I am Lady Shah's right hand now. It has all been worth it. Every step, every trial, every drop of blood. She is alone and powerless. Lady Shah has denounced her, and her own followers have abandoned her. Perhaps she will come to regret her survival, but either way, I don't expect to see her again. That's a question that could take a lifetime to answer. Lady Shah's followers are my responsibility now. I will need to guide them and root out any heresy that Viconia sowed. But all that must wait for now. The Night Singers' Church cannot thrive if the Absolute isn't stopped. When the time comes for the final battle, Lady Shah's faithful will be ready. Until then, we should continue to do what we must.
Shadowheart? I wasn't sure if I'd ever lay eyes on you again. It's me, Nocturne. Do you remember?
Remind me?
We trained together. We used to be close. I'm glad to see you're all right.
I don't remember you.
Oh. A pity. Perhaps we can talk some more later? That is, if you wish, my lady. They said the hunt for the artifact was a suicide mission. I feared I wouldn't see you again. Some even thought it was the Mother Superior's plan alone, and not what Lady Shah wanted. It seems the Whispers were right on that last part. At some point, she confused her ambitions for the Night Singer's will. But no matter. You rule us now. What comes next?
I wish to know more. There must be all sorts of things you can tell me. Little things from my past, lost to Lady Shah's embrace.
If you wish it of me, of course, my lady. I work as the quartermaster. Come see me whenever you wish. Shadowheart. I mean, my lady. I'm sorry, that takes some getting used to. Please, don't call me friend. You know what it's like here, backstabbing, vying for favor. It could be dangerous for me if others think I'm your favorite. Well, you had a pet mouse for a while. It was against the rules, of course. You used to hide him under your robes and feed him from your rations. Nibbles. I suggested Bree, but you were having none of it. She caught you with him. Forced you to get rid of him in front of everyone. To make an example. You always loved animals. But you never let yourself get too close after that. I'm sorry. Not the sort of thing you want to hear, I'm sure. Well... You know that little scar on your elbow? I was there when you picked that up. It was years ago when we were initiates. Some of the others were intent on tormenting us until you showed them the error of their ways. I think it was 6 against 2, and most of them were bigger than us to boot, but you saw them off, all of them. There were some bruised lips and black eyes in the mess hall that night, and from then on they left us alone. Or at least, they bothered us less. A collision between your elbow and the teeth of a girl called Baldur. She came away from it worse than you. She was on the same mission as you. I suppose she won't be coming back. In any case, the Mother Superior soon broke up the fighting, though she didn't punish us. In fact, I saw her smiling. I think she was proud of you. Just small things, silly things. The sort you'd scarcely recall even if your memories were left intact. You had a little hiding place that you went to when you needed to get away. You brought me there sometimes. We'd talk, play, read, do each other's hair. The plait and fringe? Yes, on your instructions, of course. You were very intent on a bold look, I think you said. My hands were cramped by the time I finished, but you were very pleased. Hidden at the back of the storage area. Luckily enough, as quartermaster, I was able to keep it hidden back there. It should be, well, if not how you remember it, exactly as you left it.
That little hideaway that we found in the cloister, it almost felt like I'd found a piece of my childhood. Childhood I don't truly remember. But remember it or not, I felt right at home there. Surrounded by books and night orchids. Don't tempt me. Might find it hard to leave. Well, can you imagine what it would have been like growing up in that place? Endless training, no privacy, facing scorn wherever I looked. I can very easily imagine I needed somewhere to escape to, if I was to survive. Nocturne and I must have come here a lot. We probably had plenty we wanted to hide from. Anyway, I think that little hideaway helped shape who I am, as much as any sermon or training did. Funny the things that influence you. Those that are worth remembering, yes. Lady Shah is ever wise. She knows what I do and do not have to know in order to be her most loyal, most effective servant. My training knowledge, my experiences, my will and faith. Everything I need to be leader of the cloister. Anything that's missing, well, I can't miss what I can't remember. I have all I need. What in life isn't? I consider myself blessed to have a goddess guide my very mind. Of course. From the first time I laid eyes on you right until now. That's all safe. I wouldn't surrender even a moment of it. Not as much as I am. My whole life has been leading up to this. At last, I've become who I've always meant to be. Fine. What's on your mind? How are you holding up? Don't be so modest. I can't remember the last time I met someone like you. Perhaps I never did. And never will again.
Hold very still, Nicklaw. Craig's aim is much improved, but still leaves something up to chance.
Yes, sir.
All right, Craig. Ready? Aim. We have a visitor. At ease. Nicklaw, you may go. I see no night song. Surely you wouldn't have entered my tower without the night song in hand? Surely you wouldn't have wasted my time? And you must have an answer to my request. If you want to keep your head, of course. The night song. Do you have it or not? She? Then you do know her. You've been to Shah's temple. To the Shadowfell. You've looked upon the night song's face. Tell me, and choose your next words carefully. Where is she now? I'm growing tired of this repartee, my friend. Let us cut to the chase. Beautiful, isn't it? Worth more than your life, too. I bought it from a Kalashite warlock. There's very little of his soul left to him. It can bind a celestial to the wearer's service with a snap of the fingers. And this can keep her in place. Forever. It didn't work out for poor Ketherick, did it? He was a fool. A desperate mercenary who poured out his soul to whichever god flattered him. I serve no god, but that which stares back at me in the mirror. The night song will be put to a grand purpose, equalizing man and god. Whoever helps me attain that which I seek will be greatly rewarded. Of course not. But perhaps, after enough lifetimes, I might make a start of it.
He would seek the power of gods for the pettiest of reasons. His own gratification. At least I seek them for the better of all.
What's that? I didn't quite catch the words, but the insolent tone was clear enough.
Pitying, not insolent. You chase one power without knowing an even greater one lies within my reach. The crown of Karsus. Once we acquire it, your ambitions will be dwarfed. I'll be able to stand against Mystra and wrest her powers from her for the betterment of all.
The crown of Karsus? Nonsense. Even if it still existed, you couldn't possibly handle its power.
Perhaps you could not. But Netherill's power is in my blood. And Mystra? I know her in ways that most mortals can only dream of.
Ah. So it is you. Mystra's discarded lapdog. And now you think your bark is cause to make me tremble?
There is no need for me to bark. My actions will speak for themselves. In time.
Then go. Act. I'll open a fine vintage in your name, once word of your failure reaches me. It didn't work out for poor Ketherick, did it? He was a fool. A desperate mercenary who poured out his soul to whichever god flattered him. I serve no god, but that which stares back at me in the mirror. The night song will be put to a grand purpose, equalizing man and god. Whoever helps me attain that which I seek will be greatly rewarded. I intend to achieve greatness. And I intend to do it for a long, long, long time. Dead? That cannot be! It is immortal! A god! You don't know what you've done! And you never will! Oh, how exhausting it is, interacting with inferior minds and their vulgar motivations. Leave me to my ruminations.
The Annals of Karsus. The preamble to a civilization's downfall, committed to parchment by the very hand that wrought its destruction. If the crown atop the Elder Brain was truly forged by Karsus himself, this book will confirm it. All we have to do is turn the page. That devil Raphael was telling the truth. There's no doubt. The crown of Karsus is what's controlling the Elder Brain. And this is no mere journal. It contains Karsus's original plans for the crown's construction. his designs for godhood. The book states that the crown and netherstones were originally one construct, seemingly sundered at the moment of Karsus's downfall. If we can collect the crown's setting and the 3 netherstones, and with the correct invocation of certain spells and gestures detailed in these notes, I think I could reforge it. Well, there'd be risk in such an endeavor, but only proportionate to the reward. Just think of it. The power of the gods in mortal hands at last would be free of doctrine and dogma, confined only by the limits of our imaginations. I promise you, the gods will never grant us such a blessing, no matter how much we worship and adore them. Then you're already wiser than me. That's a lesson I've only recently learned. I worshipped Mistra loyally for years, and in that time she granted me the barest sliver of the power I was ready to wield. Even with the fate of the world at stake, she had little more to offer me than the means of blowing myself up at a more convenient time. She's done nothing to help us. Mistra wanted the brain obliterated because of this crown. She fears a world in which such power is beyond her control, ready to be claimed by Karsus's successor. Perhaps they deserve to be challenged. Perhaps you and I deserve better than to live and die as their pawns. Ambition is not a sin. To question the powers that rule us is not treason. We must at least try. Why wallow in the dirt when we can reach for the stars? I didn't mean that as a slight. I cherish our adventures, but even if we prevail, you must know the end is in sight, mustn't you? I'm glad you can recognize this for the opportunity it is. Nevertheless, not a step to take lightly. It's our future that I'm thinking of. Can't rely on anyone else to do it for us. For now, we've learned all we can. Whatever comes of this, we cannot allow the crown to be reforged in Raphael's image. A devil wielding the might of Karsus. It would be the end of everything.
Oh, hello, my boy. No, don't mind me. I'm just enjoying a lungful of Baldurian air. Yes, a distinctive aroma, though perhaps not one worthy of bottling. Tell me, what curiosities have you and your companions discovered within the walls of this esteemed emporium? I trusted he would be sensible enough to exercise caution in this matter and to seek the truth. By now, you are aware of the evil we are up against. Karsus's pestilent craft, the very tool with which its eponymous creator unmade an empire and magic itself. Perhaps now you understand what is at stake here, my boy. Though what Mr. asked of you was extreme, it was not without merit, nor demanded lightly.
What are you saying? Or rather, what are you not saying?
Mr. knows you defied her gaze. Well, of course she knows. She's Mistra. She bids you come to her holy shrine in the Stormshore Tabernacle. There, she will grant you an audience at last.
Mistra's willing to speak to me again? Was this your doing, Elminster?
She knows what I see in you, just as I know what she sees in you. I was not born an old man. I know all too well what it's like to have a goddess fill your heart with longing. Looking at you is like gazing into a mirror that shows centuries long past.
The past is the past, Elminster. And the future is, well, still to be decided. By me. Not by Mistra.
If there is another way, I trust you can find it. It is not in your nature, or mine, to stop looking, to accept the first answer to any dilemma. Do what you can. Put that mind to work. Trust in yourself. Trust in the weave, if you are willing. Trust in Mistra. There is a conclusion yet to be written in this sorry gale of Waterdeep. And yours is the quill that will write it.
So all it took to get Mistra's attention was to learn how to reforge an artifact that once destroyed her. It's obvious when you stop to think about it. I think Elminster's last message was the one carrying the punishment. Having respectfully declined it, I think she's willing to negotiate. This is a conversation that's long overdue on both sides. I owe it to her to hear her out. Come what may afterwards. After you.
There she stands, just as Elminster promised. Mistra, goddess of the weave, mother of all magic.
Man wasn't lying. She's opened the summoning channel. Can't you feel it?
Gale's right. The very air around the statue crackles with magic, as though the weave itself were coursing beneath her stony skin.
A stream of pure, undiluted weave. I only have to reach out, and it will carry me to Mistra, wherever she may be.
Your goddess awaits. Hear her out, but remember that you do not owe her obedience, and you certainly do not owe her your life.
Time was, I'd have given my right arm for a chance to speak with Mistra again. The left one, too. Maybe a knee. Am I? You're right. I am a strong, capable wizard. And this is no more than a casual reunion with an ex-lover. My omnipotent, omniscient ex-lover. I always wonder what being nervous would feel like. I hate it. During my time locked away in Waterdeep, I prepared a quite comprehensive speech for her on the subject of our former relationship and the manner in which it ended. Alas, recent events have rendered the majority of it moot, so I'm going to have to improvise. Unless you have any words of wisdom to impart before I go. The summoning channel Mistra has provided is for me alone. No one else is permitted to enter it, no matter how talented a user of the weave they are. You'd make a fine three-dragon anti-player, you know? I think it's best I keep a cool head going into this. Approach it like a particularly high-risk round of three-dragon ante. I'll let Mistress show her flight, and then I can see how strong a chance we stand of winning the gambit. I'll only be gone for a matter of moments. The Outer Planes experience time quite differently to our own. Wait for me. Please.
Gale of Waterdeep. You look well.
As do you. But I assume we're not here solely to exchange compliments. So why am I here?
You discovered what lies at the heart of the Absolute, the crown of Karsus. And you disobeyed my instruction. Why?
Because you had no right to ask that of me. You cast me out. Remember?
You were my lover, my chosen. Yet still you know so little of me. The past cannot be undone with self-pity, nor can a future be forged. Only with the truth will you see the way ahead. The fragment of magic you tried to return to me was not of my creation. It was the Karsite Weave. It is a corrupted, half-born magic, wrought in the brief moment Karsus ascended to Godhood. It hungers for power, just as he did, and it can never be sated. You unleashed something that would consume all magic in existence, and yet you thought only of preserving yourself.
So that's what you're scared of. With the crown of Karsus reforged, I could take control of the Karsite Weave.
You can no more control the Karsite Weave than a weather vane could control a storm. That it entered your body and consumed no more than your powers was a miracle. But we will not be granted another. The only reason the orb sleeps is because I have allowed it to feed on the true weave. A temporary measure, but one that will not be enough to save us. With each day that passes, the Elder Brain threatens to become a new kind of god. Its worshippers, a scourge of soulless illithids. If you will not use the orb to end this abomination, then you must find a way to separate crown and host. When you've done this, you must surrender the crown of Karsus to me.
Great ask indeed. You've given me much to think on, as you always did.
So be it. Follow the needle of your own wisdom. We shall see how truly it leads you.
The Karsite Weave. Idea. Do you realize what this means? The orb is no stray piece of ordinary magic. It is something entirely different. The nascent form of a new, divine power. Of course, I couldn't control it. I was mortal. But once I reforge the crown, the power of a god will be mine to command. The orb will answer to me. I knew it was powerful, of course, but I could hardly analyze something trapped within my own body. Let me assure you, Karsite Weave has no more inherent evil to it than a child in the womb, or an axe half forged on the blacksmith's anvil. It is a tool, ready to be shaped by its wielder, by me. And you know me to be someone of reasonably sound moral judgment, don't you? Gods! It's refreshing to share the company of someone who sees things the same way I do. All we need to do is stay focused on the task at hand. Defeating that Elder Brain. After that, you can leave the rest to me.